Morning, everyone. A beautiful, sunny, foggy day. Ideal for meditation. The whole world by nature itself is obliterated around us. And we generally perceiving the world by seeing and hearing and touching and tasting and smelling, using our five senses. The nature itself has made it beautifully foggy. And I remember we were all, Sharda and I, we were all there in one of the place in Norway. It was called the Hamilton. And it's a beautiful place, very picturesque, and we were right in the remote village. And the mountains and skiing and everything is around and snow-clad. I was asking Divine Mother, show us some miracle. It is beautiful, crystal clear for 2 days before that. And I went in for meditation and early morning. So by the time it started to, slowly the sunlight was coming into the visibility. And slowly when I opened my eyes and I found suddenly there were literally clouds were as if racing against each other. And the entire thing was clouded. And then a pouring rain and huge, bigger than marble, those marble which you keep playing around, children play. Huge, double the size of them, the snow and showers and it was clattering all over and the rain was showering inside. And we were saying, wow, we were wanting to see something like that in the mountain. And soon enough, Sharada and I thought, let's go for a walk in this. So we put on our raincoat and umbrella, went in for a walk. And as we went little bit ahead, it magically, the whole thing stopped. Faint drizzle made it very beautiful, and we came back. I was remembering that time today morning. It was so beautiful and foggy. So welcome to the group, and let's remember our Divine Mother, God, Brahman. Let's start with our salutation. Om. Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May the Divine Mother, Param Brahma, Brahma-Rupi Mother, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Krishna, Yogakshema, Vaham Vaham. Mahavatar Babaji, the Deathless Master, bless us in our beautiful spiritual journey. May the gods and gurus of all spiritual beliefs and religion guide us, protect us. May Paramahansa Yogananda Yukteswar Giri Lahari Mahasaya, we pray to thee to hold our hand and guide us. Open our consciousness, Chaitana, make us aware. Karma Yogi, Swami Sri Vivekananda, bless us. Holy Mother Sharada, Paramahansa Ramakrishna, guide us, protect us through this journey of wisdom, knowledge, bhakti, Raja Yoga and Karma Yoga. Paramahansa Ramakrishna used to say, as long as you are proceeding. Question is to be, which is the right path? The Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, which one? Is Advaita or Dvaita? And many people, ignorant people like me, etc., we would say Advaita is better. Paramahansa Ramakrishna says, as long as your journey is to with God, any path is okay. Take all the paths, all of them together, or only one path at a time, realize God. That's the purpose of the human life, and we should fulfill the purpose of human life. Today's session, we're going to quickly recuperate what we had spoken about. The Thursday, many of you must have heard it. For those who may not have heard, and at the cost of not making it boring, but reinforcing the meanings and the values of those who had heard, it's not a cost of repetition, but it is of understanding. If it is of realization. Then we will take on 2 questions which has come in, and then we'll do a meditative journey on the Vedantic way. All of you are champion meditators, but we shall take on what Vedanta talks about, how we should proceed in this journey. There are 15 methods of the meditation, as Shankaracharya himself in Apurakshanabhuti has talked about. We had mentioned it, we had spoken about it together. We go over it again and again and again till it becomes our second nature. So the first part of it, what we had talked about and discussed is on last Thursday, this universe, this world, this earth, this samsara. Samsara is there because of our mind. Great sayings of the monks of the Himalaya. Shant man mein sansar bhala kisne dikhaye. Who is seen when a calm and peaceful mind, the samsara? What is samsara? Samsara is birth, is sustaining, is aging, growing up, and then viparikshakshate. Remember? Jayate, asti, vartate, viparikshakshate, aparikshate, and nashate. And eventually, aging, decay, and death. Along with that is the journey of chasing things, not getting them, desires not getting fulfilled, expectations, and suffering, sickness, disease, and death. And all this, as per Vedanta, is because of our mind. The moment with the mind comes in, there is a duality comes in. This we did not talk about it last time, we did it before. Wherever there is duality, there is change. Where there is non-duality, there is no change. Why? How can it be? Very simple. I will change from what to what? Existence, consciousness, bliss is non-dual Brahman. So, existence to change to what would have to be only one thing, and that is non-existence. The not existence from existence. There is nothing called not existence. It doesn't exist. So non-duality, there is no duality. Duality, the moment there is a duality, there is a change. There is a change, there is a deterioration, and whether it is our life cycle, we are changing continuously, but the beauty is we do not feel that we are changing. We feel I am there. Yes, my mind has become more intellectual. I've studied now. I've got a big stamp and a PhD, and I've got more experience of work experience, and I'm now looking very old or very handsome, very beautiful or very pretty, or I'm more of energetic, or I wasn't before, or now I'm less of energy. Changes are happening. This universe, this earth, this samsara is operating with dynamic exchange policy, changing from one to the other, and giving and receiving. If I throw up something, it has to come down. If I throw out something, it has to come back to me. So if I throw out love and compassion and care and kindness and attention to people with a positive changes in them, that is what is going to come back to me. If I, on the other hand, try to find fault with people all the time or some of the time and find out how wrong they are and how right I am, the moment I start to find out how they're different from me is who? Nama Rupa Babhara, name, form, and action. My job, my form, and my name. I'm different than you are. Duality comes in. You are different, I'm different. Starts the beginning of the suffering. This universe operates with two simple principles. One is give and take. And the second is, if in giving, I am willingly ready to give what I am seeking for myself. I want peace and happiness. I should be willing to give that peace and happiness. Giving, generally considered by everybody, money. Sure, money too. But it's not just money. It's your kindness, your attention, being able to spend a little time, little caring word to that person who's not suffering, bored, or suffering and also bored. Spend a little time. Maybe write a little chit or a letter, give it to them. Maybe send a beautiful SMS or a WhatsApp message, or maybe an email. Maybe a little verbatim appreciation, not fraudulently, genuinely. The moment you do that, word is waiting to come back. I covered a beautiful story of Maharaja Janak. He was asked by a monk, and the question was asked to me also, which I found out and answered. The story of Janak Maharshi was asked by the monk, Maharaj, you're an emperor of this huge country, Bharat. You're also Maharishi, Maharshi. You're also the father of the divine mother of the universe, Sita. And God himself is your son-in-law. How? Some people have got everything, like you. And how some people are trying very hard and don't get anything. Why is this difference? The Maharaj said, I am not aware. I will meditate on it. At night, he got a vision. Tomorrow morning, to find the answer to the question that you have in your mind, walk towards west. You will find a yogi eating dry leaves. He will know the answer to your question. He will know your question also. And in the morning, Maharaj started off. I'll cut it short, brief. Those of you who want to hear the story properly, go back to the Thursday's recording. Maharaj met that yogi after 10, 12 miles. 5, 6 kosha, one kosha is 2 miles. And then he found toward the evening, and he found he was eating dry leaf, sitting under a tree. And as he approached, the yogi said, I know why you've come. I know your question, but I can't give you the answer. You rest here tonight. Tomorrow morning, go towards north, and you will find a yogi who's eating ash under a similar kind of a tree. Maharaj, very sincere, serious with his finding and search, he started up the next day. And he went, and eventually toward the evening, he found one yogi sitting under a tree eating ash. Yogi said, Maharaj, I know your question. I have the answer, but I cannot give it to you. You will get your answer from a baby if you go toward east tomorrow, rest tonight here, and you will find the answer. Maharaj went next day, and as he toward the evening, he found out a biggish village. Headman was waiting. Headman said, my baby just now, who's just born. But strange enough, the baby is already talking and told me, go, Maharaj Janak is coming, wait and receive him and bring him. Baby, newborn, already talking, miracle. I'm here to receive you. Headman receives Maharaj Janak, takes him to his home. He said, you go inside, talk to the baby, and he closes the door behind him so that Maharaj can talk in secrecy. The baby strangely booming voice for a baby and newborn baby talking. Said, Maharaj, I have the knowledge of the question. I also know the answer. I shall tell you. You know, long time ago, in this village, there was an old lady. And this lady had 4 sons, 12-year-old, 10-year-old, 8-year-old, and 5-year-old at that time, that point of time. She was very poor. Husband had died, nobody to earn money. And she used to beg, borrow, and she had a little cow and sell the milk and get little money. She had just got enough wheat to make 4 chapatis. She made 4 chapatis and gave it to the son that day. She didn't keep anything for herself. Mothers are like that. And as the boys were about to eat, door was banged open by a strange, tall giant of a man came in and said, I am very hungry. Give me something to eat. Apparently, those days, people could do that. The mother said, I would love to give you, but I don't have anything. Whatever I had, I've given it to the boys. Now only the boys can decide. Please ask them. So the guest went on to the elder boy and said, will you give me your chapati? I'm very hungry. The elder boy said, if I give it to you, sir, what will I eat? I don't have anything. I will eat dry leaves. Now you know why the yogi who was reborn was eating only dry leaves. Second boy, when the disappointed visitor approached and said, will you give me your bread? He said, if I give you my chapati, what will I eat? Dry ash. And now you know why the second yogi was eating ash. Third boy, 8-year-old, when the visitor, disappointed till now, approached, he said, sir, I would love to give you, but if I give you this, I will die. Instantly, I am so hungry. And this baby says, that boy is me. Every time I'm born, I die the same day without experiencing life. But I've been gifted with this wisdom. So the message for me to you, Maharaj, is whatever you think, whatever you speak, and whatever you do will come back to you. Maharaj asked what happened to the 4th boy. He said, yes, Maharaj, that 5-year-old, before the visitor could approach, the 5-year-old held up the chapati and he said, sir, please take. I know I will die, but that is better than not giving it to you. You must accept it. The visitor accepted, ate it, and went away, and the baby 5-year-old died. Maharaj, the young newborn baby says, you are that 4th boy. Because you gave everything, whatever you had, at the cost of your life. Today, God is your son-in-law. The Divine Mother is your daughter. You are the king. You have no shortage. You are also the Maharishi. It is very rare to be both. And not only that, Maharaj, whatever you wish will come true because you are the truth alone. It's a beautiful story, a wonderful message. In our willingness to give what we seek, what we want, what we desire, will give us abundance of whatever we need. Samsara goes away through this. Today's question and answer, let's take it on. And questions on Vedanta. The first question came to me is, if the awakening of the Kundalini, is the awakening of the Kundalini reaches the Anahata, then you experience unexpected visions of light and uncreated sound, Anahat and Jyoti Jyoti. You see it. Is this recognition of the uncreated nature, the light and the sound, is the same experience as Aparukshanubhuti through Advaita? So the answer is yes and no. Why yes and why no? Yes is the experience because ultimately when you reach through Kundalini, Kundalini is an experience through deep sadhana, meditation, purification, and when the Kundalini Shakti, which is at the Muladhara chakra, rises through the 7 chakras, sadhana is different. Through the sadhana, when you reach the Anahata chakra, that is the heart center, the first experience comes. Paramahamsa Ramakrishna explains it beautifully. He said, then the sadhaka says, he says it in Bengali, Eki, Eki, meaning, what is this? What is this? I've never experienced it. So much of light being flooded. And you hear Pranava Dhvani, Omkar Dhvani all the time. Right now, there is so much of Omkar Dhvani going on. I know some of you also are hearing it. And as you proceed, you will be experiencing that. Through that, you will attain, once you reach the Sahasradhar, you will realize that experience of oneness, of consciousness, of Brahman. And through the Kundalini, that is your journey, and that's what it finishes. Why no? Because in Aparukshanubhuti, when you reach the Sahasradhar and become one with Brahman, through the questions and answers, it is only beginning of the journey. In Kundalini, it is the end of the journey you have attained. 1. 2, why no? Because it is a series of sadhana and experience, and you are waiting for a mystical experience of the Jagrat status coming to Anahata and to Sahasradhar. It's a brilliant experience. It's wonderful, and it is very powerful. Many sadhakas, yogis dream of it and do it. It is something which is not experienced before, and you are experiencing it just because of the power of your sadhana. The other, in the Aparukshanubhuti, you are pursuing the journey through reality. No mystical experience. You are only going by cause and effect, answering and challenging, question and answer, and coming to reality, proceeding like that. This is the main difference, in which we are talking about the visualization which is happening through the Kundalini. You realize, I am that light. And the first spiritual experience is the core which actually is showing us who we truly are. In the Aparukshanubhuti, in the Kundalini, there is a beginning of that experience, there is an end of that experience. Experiences have a beginning and has an end. Experience is not continuous, but the knowledge gained is a permanent through the Kundalini. In Aparukshanubhuti, there is no beginning and an end. The questioning journey certainly starts when you have chosen to start. When you realize it doesn't stop, because it continues to challenge and inquiry to go further and further till you become Brahman. I am Brahman. Earlier, experiencing of that powerful light, which is in Aparukshanubhuti, you would be experiencing it right now through many of you through your sadhana, through the kriya, through the meditation, and through the breathing. Many of you have been experiencing the Hamsa experiences where you are following the breath. And Omkar meditation, you are listening to the Omkar Dhvani, silently chanting, silently listening. But soon enough, because you cover up all your ears with a special mudra, you would be listening to the Omkar Dhvani. Those of you who are listening, you already know. Those of you who can't hear it as yet, don't let it upset you. It's the beginning. Even if you are 30 years practicing, can't hear, now you will hear. It will depend on your past karma and the sincerity of the journey. But you will. Undoubtedly, you will. This is anahat, sound, without striking, without creating. Creating sound is like that. I strike to create. Similarly, uncreated light, any other light, the sun's light, is a created light. Who's creating it? This supreme consciousness, cosmos, which you are saying, it is considered as an object, which is created light. Whereas what you perceive within is uncreated light. And that light floods you. Everything gets flooded. Proceeding to the mind as itself is revealed to be that you go beyond that mind. Man ke paar chale jate. So you go beyond samsara, you go beyond duality in the Aparukshanubhuti. And then when you come back, you realize that though the body is changing, though the mind is changing, but I am the unchanging self, Brahman. This is where Prajnana Brahman, I am Atman Brahman. I am that Brahman. Understanding comes in. And once you appreciate this, the true magic of the Advaita experience dawns upon you. The magic. It is not some intellectual discussions and proving it and disproving it. It is like I show you this clock. Do I have to prove it to you that I show you the clock? No, because it is your direct experience of an object. So subject to object is the experience which is what is happening. And subject, we generally think we are an object, name, form, and function. Subject is the supreme consciousness, Chetana, Chit, Sat, Chit, Ananda. I realize that. And automatically, I become one with that experience, which has got a beginning and an end, along with the knowledge comes in Aparukshanubhuti. You do experience it, which has got a beginning and an end, but your knowledge becomes infinite. Though at the end of it, yes. Why? Because the actual experience, what you're understanding is one, when you reach the Sahasradhar in Kundalini. In Aparukshanubhuti, that's the beginning of the journey. In Kundalini, this mystical experience becomes the end of your journey, and yogi attains and very happy to proceed with that. So, main way of saying that there is two differences. One is the methodological and one is experiential. So methodological Kundalini yoga path and mysterious experiences, etc. And in the methodology of the Aparukshanubhuti is through the inquiry, going into a little more detail. And here says, realization does not stop at realizing I am the Brahman. It's the beginning of the journey. Very big question. The answer is big. We've given you a little bit. Go through it. Ask further questions if you like. The next question, I had another one, and how do I know that this awareness? No, this is the third question. This is the question, yeah. The question, let me read it out. How do we bring it down? Give me a minute. Yeah. How do I go? Yeah. The question is, it's a very big question. I will just give you the question, give you a little touching point, and we'll deal with it more in detail because we have to go in for meditation today now. So the question is, my real nature is Brahman, and I have to pass through this journey of liberation through space, time, and causation, through Jiva. Why do I have to do that, passing through the sentient and non-sentient? That is, through the Jiva, when I'm already Brahman. Why do I have to pass through these experiences that do the yogic practices and question and answers and Advaitic way and proceed and to realize only that which I'm already am, that I'm the Brahman? What is the purpose of appearing as a sentient being and finding Brahman, that I'm the non-sentient? What is the purpose? Why do I have to pass through this jiva and the body form and turn to the Brahman? I'll give you this answer in detail in our second session, but today I'll give you in brief the answer so that you have a question, you have a little answer to work with it, meditate on it. The question itself, as per Swami Vivekananda and Shankaracharya, is wrong. Why is it wrong? The wrong is you are asking cause for causation. Meaning, question like, let's say somebody asking, a child is asking, why is the grass wet? The Papa said, grass is wet because it, what is the child asking? A cause. Why is it wet? The father says, because it had rained. So the boy says, why did it rain? So what is he asking for? The cause of that particular effect which has happened. So father says, because of the cloud. Why did the cloud come? And the question goes on. You all have experienced all this before. Whereas here it is, the entire scenery is happening is because of Maya. So you cannot challenge the cause with a causation question. Make it simple and very clear. Can I ask, why did you dream that dream? I can't ask you that. I can't ask you what was before time and what is after time. The moment I ask you what was before time, I've accepted time. And if you look carefully, cause and causation of the time itself, before time and after time, is also a time question, isn't it? So it is an incorrect question. We'll deal with it a little more detail, but understand it. What is outside of space and what is inside of space? The space itself you have considered to be space. Where is space? infinite. How can it be outside the space and inside the space? So these are all incorrect questions, but understanding because of the Maya. Maya, what is Maya? Is space, time, and causation. We'll deal more with it. Somebody had asked Sharat Chandra, Swami Vivekananda's favorite disciple, asked. Swami Vivekananda was very pleased with his disciple, and he said one day, ask me what you want, I'll give it to you. Vivekananda asked Sharat Chandra, his favorite disciple, ask me whatever you want, I'll grant it to you. So Sharat Chandra said, sir, Gurudev, please teach me about Maya. You know what Vivekananda said? You all may have heard it from me. Vivekananda said, ask me for something else. Then Sharat Chandra said, sir, if you can't teach me Maya, then who else can teach? You're the only one. And this Maya, on which I am completing a paper, which is already gone to 60 plus pages. So maybe we will share with it. So going in from there to today's session of the meditation. See, why do we need to do meditation? This understanding of the supreme power which is within me, the realization of that can only happen by stilling yourself, by calming down to that status of the stillness. There are wonderful websites and books are available all over, but just studying, if you go to a librarian, just because he sits in the library, does not become a very knowledgeable person. He may get some knowledge by reading. But when that knowledge becomes direct realization is through the meditation, there is no doubt. Then, in this meditative process, given down by thousands of years, you become one with the meditative object. In the yogic process, in the meditation, you focus your attention to one point, maybe your favorite deity, maybe a favorite lit lamp. And when that, many of you have seen that picture, an unflickering lamp, not flickering at all, absolutely steady, fixed onto that side, or the feet of the deity, or your favorite deity, whichever name and form that you consider. When it is fixed for 12 seconds, it's called 1 unit of concentration or dharana. When you attain 12 times 12 seconds, that is 144 seconds, it's called 1 dhyana, 1 unit of meditation. And when you attain 12 times of 12 units of meditation, which comes to about 28 minutes and something, totally staying focused into that one object without flickering, you attain 1 unit of samadhi. This is the basic little technical detail. Today, we shall practice. Before that, we need to understand something. First, in the meditative process, your travel from this physical world, object world, to travel to the reality, which is the subject world. Object, definition of object, anything I can experience is an object. I experience this clock, it's an object. Strange definitions of object. I experience my anger, it is an object. I experience my love, my thoughts, they're all object. I experience my mind is an object as per Vedanta. Whatever you experience is an object. Whatever is subject. Remember the English definition of the dictionary. Subject is the one which is doing, observing. In Vedantic, Sakshi, Drashta, witness. This is in the Vedantic language. in the object is the one which is being done to, English ancient grammar. So here we are experiencing the world because of which the duality comes in, because of which the suffering comes in. So remember, Buddha wanted to understand how to get away from the suffering. He pointed out fourfold of suffering, and he found out an eightfold path of getting out of that suffering. Notice in that strong notation of the meditation in which he went into meditation state and he said, I shall not get up till the time I have realized. And he did. And then he gave it to everyone, the concept. This meditation in which we are going to take the journey from this object world, which is continuously bombarding us, and with our five senses, we are looking at the world. And notice, this is where this digital world, the mobile, the computers, and AI, artificial intelligence, is a big distraction today. You know why? Because the artificial intelligence, mobile, anytime you notice everybody is looking at that mobile, they totally focus on that mobile. And the people who created it, they are continuously trying to distract you. In the Silicon Valley, they call it continuous partial attention, CPA. Continuous partial attention is what is their goal. They want to ting, they will do one thing, you will look at it, what is it, and you will see some message, you will close it or you will answer it. You're doing something else. Whereas if you look at whether meditation, or if you want to learn cricket or music, or how to cook a great dish, or learn something by reading, you need focus, 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 total concentration. That concentration is being distracted by the digital world. Just like I cannot sit on top of, let's say, 5 lakh rupees put under my seat, I cannot sit on top of that. It is covered with an asana. I cannot sit and do meditation. Mind will all the time go towards that. Same way, these other distractions are coming in. Other distractions are not being able to sit properly. Most of us tend to go into meditation, and you would notice it. Many of you don't do it at all. Some of you have that. You have to correct it. Meaning when you sit, you should not be sitting rigid like a straight tree, not rigid. It should be sukha, ananda. It's going to give you joy. They should be sitting straight, back is straight, chin must not be down. Many people tend to do like this. Or I have noticed big meditation session, including the guru himself. You all know him very well. No names. They meditated state. I noticed their head went on like this. When you do that, if you try, when you sit down and start your experiment, sit quiet, stick with the chin down. When you put the chin down and sit still for a while, you will see that funny thoughts are coming in. Funny thoughts. You could never imagine I could have those thoughts. If your chin is parallel to the ground, your practical thoughts will come in of the world. If your chin is up, little up, very little up, you'll find divine light will come in. You'll be able to see your purity, vision, get focus onto the spiritual world. So, sitting posture straight, no movement. For at least 15 minutes. Start with, I shall not move for that 15 minutes. Something will itch. Mind is going to play that trick. Something will tell you, go and check. Something, maybe you're feeling hot, switch on the AC or open the window. Something will try to disturb you. Don't get disturbed. Once you start, before that, you're finished your kriya, and then you start to, for us, those of the beginners in the kriya, you start off progressively, you will come to the state to learn the kriya abhyasa and the practices. Till then, sit still, in which what we are going to take you, we are going to take you across, and we are going to travel ourselves across from this so-called non-reality. What is non-reality? What we call is reality. What is that? We think I am this name, form, and function. What work I do, what business I have, what family I have, this is my house, this is my place, and this is my body and the name and the form. Whereas you have seen through Aparokshanubhuti that this is carrying on changing. It cannot be me. Because that I which was there when I was a baby and the I which is there now, it is remained that same one I. The I which went into the dream state was one, body remained, went on for a dream, came back, and out of the dream, it is still same that one I. So, towards that travel, we will travel from the physical world, Sthula Sharira, to a little finer, through the body, through the breath. Through the breath, we will go on to the mind. And from there is the journey going to take you across to that one concentration. This, which is that uncreated sound, uncreated light. You'll be seeing it entirely. Thought processes, waves, as and when they keep coming, bombarding. The moment it comes, as you come to that state, imagine I am that supreme Brahman, that light. That light is all around me, uncreated. Uncreated meaning you understood that you are that light. You're not creating something. Somebody is not throwing light at you. You are that light. And that thought process which comes to distract you, put that light on that little vritti. Remember, vritti is like a bubble in the lake of the mind. Now, how do we start? Posture is correct. I'm going to keep on talking. So you start off with me. First, as we sit still, we will close our eyes. And when we close our eyes, first start with the physical body. And our journey is to be Brahman, to reach that state. Maybe not today, maybe 10 years from today, maybe 1 month from today. But in this life alone is our journey to realize I am that Brahman. Brahman is that consciousness. Remember, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. That Anantam Brahman is Sat and Chit. So now that is called, another name is awareness. Awareness. I'm aware. To the awareness. So now to start with, please sit right over left, right in Dhyana Mudra and Jnana Mudra. Have a pleasant face. Tendency many a time to frown. You cannot frown at the mirror. Mirror will only frown back. You are now approaching your mirror, who you really are, and traveling from so-called unreal to real. This is what we pray for. Asatoma Satkamaya. And ignorance to bliss. You will attain that great wisdom. Starting off, sit comfortable, sukha. Right over left, pull your chest back a little bit so that feel the stretch and the spine automatically becomes straight. Chin little up. And then do not take long breath or short breath. Just be natural. Let the breath come in and go out. Let's breathe for 2-3 breaths. Breathing in, eyes closed, comfortable. Breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Practice 2-3 breaths. Invite that awareness. I'm aware of the seat I'm sitting on. The bottom my feet are touching. Follow with the awareness to the parts of the limb, to the torso. I'm aware of gentle movement as we breathe in and breathe out of the stomach, of the heart. I'm aware of my eyes closed. I'm aware of the uncreated, anahat sound. Whether I hear it or don't hear it, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of the light around. I am aware of my body. From the sthula sharir, I go to the little more subtle. This process, as we sit for meditation, may be much slower and may travel from one form of the stage to the other stage, longer time. Become aware of the subtle breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, seeking the blessings of the masters of Himalaya, of Advaita, of great gurus. Breathing out, toxicity of the mind, impurities of the mind, lies and lethargy. And breathing out the duality and breathing in oneness. Few breaths. I am in the waking state. This is the play, the role of the play, the drama that in this name form Robbin Ghosh is playing. The drama, the action in this life with family, with friends, with the work related. Become aware. This name and the form is playing that role, but it cannot play unless the body is conscious. Unconscious body, unconscious Robbin Ghosh. Robbin Ghosh in coma cannot experience. World is dead. I am experiencing and I'm aware of that awareness, not aware of the breath, not of the body. I'm aware of the awareness which tells me the presence of my body, the presence of my breath. When I saw the clock, I'm aware that the light has projected on the clock and created an image on my eyes, cornea, to be aware of I'm seeing a clock. Become aware of that consciousness. I'm aware of my breath. I'm becoming aware of the sound. No artificial sound. Because we, through the meditation, dive deep within. Artificial sound takes us across to the world outside. Some music may be nice to hear. Maybe a mantra, nice to hear. You may chant it in your mind, but listening to that outside takes you outside of your experience of awareness. You are still experiencing that, but you know it is outside of you, created by another source. Come to the source of uncreated you, which is within you. I'm aware of the anahata sound of cricket, like sound like an insect cricket, and of the pranava dhvani like a shankh dhvani. Mandakya Upanishad takes us the Omkar Dhvani. Om comes with 3 syllables. A, U, and A is the Jagrat state, the role, the drama that I am playing in this universe, the dream that I'm experiencing. Who is the dream that I actually dream after going off to sleep? And is the one when I go off to deep sleep. There is no mind. Only thing present is the awareness. I am not aware of the awareness when I'm in deep sleep. But when I wake up, I realize I had a beautiful sleep. That shows my awareness was present there. In English, A, U, and M. After the O, and is a silence. This silence is the Turiya, the 4th. Turiya means the 4th. We believe that I am real in this world, Jagrat. I am real in the dream. I had a dream. And this is what my dream meant. And is the deep sleep. We're going to chant this loudly for today's practice. When you do it at home, you don't have to loudly chant. If you feel like, and if you're alone without creating disturbance to anyone, you may go ahead. Today we'll do it to bring it to 4 to understanding. As we do the Om chanting, Vedantic meditation is taking birth. As we say Om, A and U both put together becomes O in Sanskrit. As we start Om like that, As we start the O, imagine you becoming aware of your role, the stage and the play that you're playing in this Jagrat world. Let me repeat that. As we start with the O of Om, visualize this play, the drama that we're playing in this real life in Jagrat state. The name, the form, the stage, the action. As we go on to the U, which is and U is together, so the Om, second part of the O. Imagine you're aware of your dream state, not a particular dream, just the stage of dreaming itself. And then it's the silence of deep sleep. Experience the silence. After this state is the deep silence, which is the time when you're taking a breath to go on to the next Omkar. Be aware of that silence. And this silence is the real Sakshi, is the Brahman. The seed of the deep sleep, the seed of the dream, and seed of the awakened Jagrat state is from that silence. Become in each one of the states, just in this Advaita Vedanta meditation, become aware of the awareness. Just like we didn't experience the clock with the eye, we become aware of the light reflecting and projecting the image of the clock. I become aware of the clock. Yes, I saw it, but that five senses are nothing else but the awareness acting through the mind, through the senses, and bringing in information to us. Let us start. Remember, as we are chanting, we will just do it 3 times. Practice that, and after that, we'll proceed. Keeping your postures erect, keeping the silence of the body, merging with the wakeful state, experiencing the waking, merging with the O, the experience of the dream and the dream state, together with the long drawn Om as U, and then is experiencing the darkness, the blankness of the deep sleep. You may think, I do not experience any blankness and deep sleep. It is all dark. Experiencing the darkness and the blankness is an experience. Experience that in the and then comes the silence as we take the breath and await the beginning of the next Omkar. In the silence, experience that awareness, which is I, the Turiya, the fourth. is the only me. I'm not the name and the form and the function of the waking state, nor am I the experience of the dream state, nor the experiencing of the blankness or the darkness of the deep sleep. I am the awareness which is experiencing the waking, the dreaming, the awareness experiencing the darkness, the blankness of the deep sleep. The awareness itself is merging within itself as the consciousness, as the awareness. Let us begin. This silence. Again, experience through the awareness of the waking. I'm not this play which is going on with this name, form and function. I am the awareness. I am the Sakshi, the observer. I am the consciousness. Through my experience of the waking, through my experience of the dream, again, the silence. Again. The silence. I'm not the play of the awakened Jagrut, body, mind, and name. The body may have aging process, the strife, the struggle, the survival conflicts, the suffering, the success of the body. That is not I. I am the witness of the strife, of the struggle, of the survival, of the suffering, of the success. I'm not the dreamer experiencing the dream. I'm not the dream objects, not the dream mind, nor the dream name and the form. I am the awareness experiencing the dream. I am not the deep sleeper. I am the Sakshi, the awareness experiencing the darkness and the blankness of the deep sleep. I am the Turiya, I am the awareness alone. I am the consciousness. Again, this silence. Again. I am the light in the awareness. I am witnessing the play of the Jagrat, awaken, of the dream, Swapna, of the Sushupti, deep sleep. I'm aware of myself in the silence, the light, the absence of this world outside. I am the awareness in this world outside, experiencing the awakened state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. Again, silence. Now practice without making the sound of the Omkar. If you wish to, you can, if you have the freedom. Sometimes in places, whether at home or in the public place, even in a meditation center, loud sound may distract others with their progress. So practice with a silent Omkar, remembering I am the Drashta, the Sakshi. I'm experiencing the Drishya of the world, of this universe, of this cosmos. I am the seer. Mano buddhi chitta ahankar. Shariram na aham. Begin silently again. Silence. Again. I am the awareness of the glowing, brilliant light all around me, surrounding me, glowing from the top to every center of my chakras and my body. Again, silently. Silence. Now stay in that silence. Thoughts, visions, images may come. Place the brilliant light of Sakshi awareness. Don't fight the thoughts. Place the light brilliantly on top of the thought, the vritti in the mind lake. Being still, you may be uncomfortable in some part of the knee, legs, ankle, body. Mind will try to make your body move, itch somewhere. Utilize the light of the awareness to place it over there. On the vritti, on the tendency. And be still with a total lit aura of the silence all around. Chidananda Rupaham Shivoham Shivo. Be as long as the joy welling up, the calmness, the tranquility of the awareness takes you to that infinite bliss, Ananda. You are the subject. The world outside is the object. Your mind, your thoughts, your awakened state experiences, your love, compassion, kindness, hatred, small-mindedness, jealousy, greed are all objects. I am not attached to them. I'm separate. I am the witness of the love, of the compassion, of the kindness, of the big-heartedness, of the hatred, of the anger, of judgmental nature and finding fault in people, of the small-mindedness. I am the witness of the experience, awareness of the blankness of the deep sleep. I am the awareness, the light, the silence. Take for today's session. We would love to continue to ending the session slowly. Bring back the awareness Sakshi through the experiences of the blankness, darkness. Bring the awareness to the experience of the dream state. Bring the awareness to the awakened body, mind, name, form, and function. Bring your awareness back into the play. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes onto your own palm. You are very powerful. You're in touch with that infinite light. I see light all around. With open eyes, with closed eyes. I hear the sound of the Pranabadhvani, non-created sound, non-created light. Now, when you and I operate in this world, we operate 100%, 10 out of 10. The role of a man, of a woman, of a husband, of a wife, of a daughter or a son, of a professional, of a friend. I have to give to the world, remembering my desires, my ambitions, my cravings for possessions. They are not mine. I am the Sakshi, I am the awareness. But when I am ready freely to share and give away what I seek to the people, the name, the fame, the money, it comes to me from the infinite source of my awareness without any shortage. I am connected to that eternal wealth, well, the ocean which is within me. Most of us make the mistake in awakened world is to go outside with two intentions. Is to learn, is to work hard, is to earn money and fulfill our desires and ambitions. And the second is continuously being unhappy with what we have, and the desire and the cravings continue with the incompleteness because we feel we are dual. Duality brings samsara, brings this world. The moment I am aligned with my one alone, my sakshi, my awareness, I am that awareness. I am one. In Sanskrit, Vedanta calls it Advaitam. One alone exists. Many times in our meditation, we are taken through darkened alley, through our mind, through restlessness, through the blind alley, through our emotions and the feelings, through unknowingly experiences of the blankness, and we feel very happy. Experiencing the blankness is good, but being in the blankness is not good. Therefore, Vedantic meditation takes us through threefold. One is the hypothesis of the working principles of the Vedantic meditation through scriptures laid down by the rishis for thousands of years. In today's session, we are following the Mandukya Upanishad, 3rd chapter. The second, the working principles and the projections being influenced by our beliefs, our hurt, and being taken into unending blind alley. And third, the absolute clarity, personal experiences of the calmness of the light within. So this world ceases to exist because I realize the world exists as a dual when I am dual in the name, form, and function. Now I work in this world with the awareness being the witness of the silence within, playing 100% better role because my expectations are not there. I'm only here to give. I am in that detached performer, but I work better and play the role. Now, this silence, the Turiya state, I realize through the Maya that Turiya alone of the Vedantic Asparsha Yoga projects the deep sleep, the dream state, and the wakeful state. The Turiya alone is expressing through the Asparsha Yoga. Asparsha Yoga, very few people are aware of another name of Vedanta. It means the water is there in the wave and in the ocean. You being an advanced Vedantist, no, it is not true. Water is there in this glass. I can separate the glass and the water. But I cannot take away the water from the wave, water from the ocean. The water itself has become the ocean, has become the waves, has become the puddle on the street or the river or the pond. And in Asparsha Yoga, water cannot touch the waves, cannot touch the ocean, because water itself is the ocean, is the wave. Turiya, that silence, is this waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. Through the Maya, like the famous example of a darkened alley, you see the snake, which was, you realize by throwing the light from your mobile, it was only a rope. The rope cannot touch the snake, nor does it become poisonous, because the rope itself, through the illusion of ignorance, became the snake. The mirage is not an enemy of the desert. It is through the illusion of the light that the desert looks like the mirage. Mirage or the snake is not the enemy of the desert, of the rope. Through the awareness, you realize this wakeful state, the dream state, the deep sleep state is not an enemy of the Brahman, of the Turiya state. So you perform with bliss and happiness in this world, knowing, fully aware of the awareness. And you see this Turiya, infinite light, and the presence of Brahman, the presence of the consciousness in everyone. And you worship that consciousness in your wife, in your husband, in your friends, in your parent, in your children, in that who is the destitute, in that who needs something from you. You give freely without expecting anything in return. That's the story of Janak Maharshi. In turn, this infinite wealth, which is within you in the point of silence, we are unconscious of that consciousness, of that awareness. Give Janak Maharshi, made him the father of the divine mother of the universe, made him the father-in-law of the God himself, Rama, made him the emperor of India, and yet he was the Maharishi. I wish you all protection, good practice, being aware during the wakeful time, during the dream time, and deep sleep time. When you wake up and aware, I am that awareness all the time, and create the world around you just as the Asparsha Yoga. Shakespeare calls it, make your world as you like it. Our world, our universe is not a tempest, it's Shakespearean language, not a midsummer's dream. You can make it as you like it. May the Divine Mother, Babaji, Krishna, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, our gods and the gurus, bless you and protect you to attain your dream and wish. Om.